All right, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm about to go over the truth about living in a tiny house when you're 6'5", showering, cooking, cleaning, where we put our stuff, all coming up. All right, if you're new here, my name's Alex. This is Redbeard Adventure, and on this channel I make how-to videos, cooking videos, random whatever is trending in my brain videos, and lifestyle videos just like this one. So if you're new here, thank you, and please consider subscribing. All right, let's jump right into what we're here to talk about. So living in a tiny house when you are 6'5". So we purchased a fifth wheel RV for our tiny house instead of the super trendy wood construction, also super heavy tiny houses that you see on Instagram and on YouTube. Yes, that was our dream, but that is not what we did for this, I guess, phase in our lives. We wanted to be able to be portable and quickly portable if we need to. So that's why we chose to go with the fifth wheel. It is 14,000 pounds instead of 30,000 pounds and can be moved and insured and financed and all of those things very simply without any headache. So to get that out in the open up front, our tiny house is a fifth wheel. So we are a full-time fifth wheel family. All right, so we are standing in the bathroom. So headroom, I have like an inch and a half above my head with no shoes on in the bathroom to move around. Whenever you get in the shower, there is a skylight that gives you a little more headroom, so like 5 or 6 inches. And it does get a little tight sometimes, but I don't know, the water pressure is great and there's enough room to wash everything that needs washing, so it doesn't really bother me. Now, some people like huge showers, and don't get me wrong, I love showers, and I love when we're staying with family or in an Airbnb or something and there's a huge shower. I tend to just stand there and stretch my arms and enjoy it, but for the most part, living here, not a big deal at all. We have one sink, which is a regular vessel sink, so that doesn't really change much of anything. The toilets, that is one thing we upgraded from the RV toilets to full-size porcelain toilets, so you don't lose any of those comforts. And towels hanging on the back of the door. That's probably pretty common no matter where you live. So one thing that is a challenge, and it's only a challenge if you have a bunch of stuff, is storage. So we have worked for several years, 4, 5, almost 5 years, to downsize. So we moved from a 1,900 square foot house to a 500 square foot apartment on Miami Beach 5 years ago. And with that 500 square foot apartment, we had like 3 storage units full of stuff, and we have whittled that down to this final move. We have 0 things in storage. We have a family house in Virginia that has some like sentimental furniture that we couldn't get rid of, that fit and worked there, so we moved it. But for the most part, we have nothing in storage other than a few things of furniture. So everything we own is in and around our tiny house. All right, so the kids' room is a complete disaster. And that is not...
Mom said I could.
Could what? Oh, you're painting your fingernails. Just be
she
careful.
said it yesterday.
Oh, all right. So I'll show you a video or a picture right now of this clean. It takes them literally 7 seconds to destroy this place because it's so small and looking for stuff, and they were building a fort this morning and moving everything around. So this is actually where the king bed would have been, when you buy a fifth wheel, but we converted it to bunk beds, so that mattress goes up there when it's not in fort mode for the kids. So one reason we did that is so they could have like their own room separate, but also like this ceiling tapers down because it's over the gooseneck, so I didn't really want my bedroom to have no headroom. So that's really one of the only places in the house that I struggle with headroom. So here we are now in the kitchen, and the kitchen ceilings are super high, so I can't even stretching flat-footed touch the ceiling. I have to get up on my toes. So that's probably what, 8.5 foot ceilings in the kitchen, which is absolutely perfect. It does not feel claustrophobic. It does not feel cluttered. And that is one of the things when we walked in and saw this RV, we knew, okay, this is something we can work with, because I felt like I had room to breathe. Some of the other ones we looked at were cramped. Good word. Thanks, from the 6-year-old. All right. So this is our dining room table, and it's also our office, and it's also our TV, iPad room. We don't own a TV, actual TV, but so one thing about living in a tiny space, and it's raining outside, so that compounds it, because usually by now, 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, the kids would be outside running around on the deck, but it's raining, so we're all inside, and thankfully everybody's not crazy yet. Stop touching me. So living in a tiny, all right, I think I instigated something. So living in a tiny space does come with challenges whenever you want to get some distance from the folks you love the most. So it can get a little cramped when everybody's on top of each other. And you have to constantly be picking up and cleaning, because like we went to get stuff for cinnamon rolls. So there's my rain jacket and rain boots and shoes and stuff. And like, it takes up so much room. It's like so little things. And if you were in a big house, you wouldn't even worry about it. But keeping the counters clear and keeping stuff put away is like super top priority. And you find yourself cleaning all the time. All right. So this is our bedroom. And I know it looks like a living room. This is a full-size residential couch from IKEA. And our bed is on a Happy Jack system that goes all the way up to the roof. So this does go up high enough so I can just kind of barely slip my head through. But there is some space here where it is the full 8.5 foot ceiling. So I don't feel like I'm cramped in here at all, because if I'm in here, I'm just getting dressed and then going into the kitchen area, or we're sitting on the couch, which you don't need to stand while you're sitting on the couch. So one thing we find ourselves doing a lot of is laundry. So this is an all-in-one washer dryer unit made by Equator. You hit start and it washes it and dries it fully. It is ventless, and this is, we did a ton of research, and this washer dryer is amazing. But it's small, so it's 2.5 cubic feet, which is about half the size of your normal residential washer. So you have to wash smaller loads more frequently, but it is easier to put away when you're only washing small loads. So there's a half bath here, which I can stand and go to the bathroom, but there is no room for me in here. So this is just the blow dry your hair. Megan puts her makeup on if the kids really have to pee and somebody else is in the other bathroom. A few hanging clothes, my suit jackets, and some dress shirts for work, because at this point I still have a real job. And the rest of my clothes are under here. So if you've ever seen this IKEA couch, oh, there's headphones. If you've ever seen this IKEA couch, there is a mattress that like pulls up, but I took that out, built a solid bottom, and that is all my clothes storage. And then Megan's clothes and shoes, our shoes and stuff go under here. And then there's this dresser. It's smaller than it looks, but underwear, socks, looks like keepsakes and tchotchkes and stuff like that. So what is next? I made a list. Let me go find my list of what to talk about. All right, the list. Bedroom, living room, we talked about that. Headroom, talked about that. Bathroom, we talked about that. My clothes, we talked about that. And cooking. So cooking is just like you'd expect in a normal house. I have a grill and smoker and stuff outside. This is a 3-burner propane stove, and then counter space. This Ninja oven is amazing, and it does air crisp, air roast, air broil, bake, dehydrate, toast, bagels, keep warm. This thing does everything, and it is amazing. So it folds up, actually. So it stands up and has a stand where it'll stand vertical if you want to leave it on the counter. And then we typically will put it right here in this cabinet. Refrigerator is like a full-size apartment fridge, so plenty of space there for the 4 of us, and then typical pantry items. All right, so let's see. In closing, moving into this tiny house was the best decision I think that we have ever made. It has freed us up financially to be able to travel and not question when we want to do something. We still plan and budget for things, but the freedom and flexibility that living tiny affords is sorry, I'm watching Daisy bang her nail polish on the floor.
That we get things open from.
Oh, okay. So living in this tiny house has been the best decision that we've ever made. It's brought us closer, forced us to communicate about things instead of hiding on opposite sides of the house and ignoring problems, because you just can't get away. You can't get away sometimes. So I hope you like this video. If you did, please subscribe. In the comments, let me know what it is that scares you most about minimalism or living in a tiny space. What do you think you could not handle? And check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching.